Hello, I'm Colonel Failure, and this is Train Fever. Woohoo! Right, when you were here last time, we switched around some of the trains and we built a brand new track to run the TFV on, which actually doesn't make for brilliant watching a lot of the time. We're watching the TFV, the Fast and Furious 2, doing its route right now. Yeah, quite a lot of it is underground. Now, what we are keeping an eye on here is the speedo. This train is capable of 300 kilometers an hour, and it hits around 170 before braking hard to start coming into the opposing station. As you will see, there we go. Yes, not helpful. This is not what we hoped for. Clearly, the two stations we've selected are too far apart. No, are not far apart enough. Even worse than that. Where the hell is it? Oh, I see. Helps if you look in the right direction. Anyway, here we go. We're coming in. There's not a massive amount of demand for it right now. It can carry 256 passengers, but it's only hauling 30 odd, and that's the same in each direction. I mean, this is fantastic for the passengers. They're going to absolutely love it, riding on the fastest thing imaginable, and effectively having an entire coach to themselves. It's a straight up beast, is this train. So we're going to try and alleviate that this time around. How many do we load up with here? Let's have a quick look. Yeah, see, 30 going in the opposite direction. It's barely worth my effort. So where are we running from? We're running from Barrow-in-Furness here out to Slough, and I would have thought that would be enough time, and the track is pretty much a straight line for it to get up to full speed. But no, it just doesn't want to. So I think at some point, sooner rather than later, we're going to run from Barrow up to Chard, and then we'll run a straight line service from Chard to Slough and see if that, you know, manages to set us a max speed kind of a record there. Anyway, more of that later. That is not what we're about today, so we'll get rid of you for the time being. We also changed up the Woking commuter line, which is where the TFV was running before, so that it's now running one of our more standard consists, which is a 6.6. This train is unnamed, if anybody wants to claim it. And again, this is not yet picking up the kind of the volume of passengers that we'd hoped for, and I think part of the reason for that is going to be something that several commenters have suggested. Thank you very much. Which is that we're not doing enough inside some of the cities, some of the towns, to actually drive passengers towards using rail. The observation that a lot of people are now using cars, look at them using cars, how dare they, is going to be slowing us down. And all of this, of course, is having a negative impact on our bottom line, so we're not making as much money as we should do. One other observation before I move on is that we're running Easy Rules here, which is one of our older consists, and this is a shared line between Bromsgrove and, where are we here, Great Torrington. So there are several trains that run down this route, and they have different top speeds. So you end up with the faster trains getting stuck behind the slower ones, which doesn't make anybody happy at all. So what have we got actually waiting here? We've got 22 waiting for the Watt-Tor and 40 odd for the Rip-Tor. Now the Rip and Torrington has been running for ages, and even then we're not, you know, well, actually, I'll shut my face, you know, that has just filled the train. But this train could be faster, it could be carrying more passengers. We'll get that sorted. So let's have a quick look at the lines. You know, the picture is pretty much what you'd expect. Everything is getting better, but not at a speed that is conducive with me having any kind of celebration whatsoever. And I'm not going anywhere near goods today. You can relax on that front. We're all about passengers. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different passenger consist makeups, and I want to get that a little bit more unified, if at all possible. So that's coming in the future, but not today. Today we are all about trams. Before I get to that, let's just have a quick look at the balance sheet. So here's the balance sheet. We're in August right now, and we're up to a little bit of profit I would imagine we'll settle on around the $1 million mark of profit by the end of the year again. The income each year is going up. This is a good thing. But the costs, as much as they've stayed stable for a couple of years, they're going to start getting worse as trains get older. So we need to fix that. We do need to fix that. First things first, however, let's get some in-town transit sorted out. So this is Torrington, and Torrington's grown, you know, pretty well since we first set up here. It was a right tiddler. And I think we're going to go trams. I think we'll put an ultra-modern tram system in place in Torrington. Right, let's do that. Stop talking, get on with it. Okie doke, tramway. Right, so let's start with tram stations. We need a tram depot somewhere here. So let's put the tram depot somewhere relatively out of the way. That's relatively out of the way, isn't it? Yeah. There we go. Marvellous. Right, well, we're committed to trams. Tramway. Obviously, it's going to need to come out to the end of the road. Right, okay, where are we going to go? Right, so we're going to go past the station. We'll do a Grand Central for Torrington. That's always fun. And then we'll go out to the burbs, round these suburbs, coming back through towards these heavy smoking industrial kind of places, back round, through the middle, and up here. Okay, good. Right, so let's track it up. Actually, and this is one of the simple joys of building tram lines is it's simple. It's not like electrifying rail track. Heck no. It is far more compliant, far more conducive to actually getting running. And as ever, I am running out into the middle of nowhere. Hold on, pay attention to what you're doing. There we go. Where should we go down? Should we go all the way to the end? We'll go all the way to the end. Around the corner. And we're going to do this for all the towns that are currently without mass transit internally, in the hope that it drives a few more passengers. Now, I mean, most of my bus and well, I've only got one tram route so far, so this will be the second. But most of the routes of this kind that I've got up so far are not particularly profitable on their own, but they do contribute heavily to driving rail traffic, and rail is you know, is where it's at for the big bucks. Do I want to go out any further? No. All right, round the corner here. Yeah, this is looking good. This is looking good. And then link up. Splendid. Okay, right. Let's. Everything drives on the right. Everything drives on the right. Okay. So come on, give me a good. There we go. Brilliant. Absolutely spot on that. This looks vaguely commercial, so we'll have one there. Now, I could probably, in fact, it would probably be sensible for me to spend a little bit more time planning these routes out effectively. That's a kind of leisure area there, so we'll definitely put a stop in. But to be honest, you know, I've always been something of a believer in the fact that if you build it, they will come. And certainly the way that these towns expand means that over time, all of these stops that are, you know, somewhat in the middle of nowhere should get used. Where should we put this? Let's put that there. Do I want one more before the station? I think I want one more before the station. And we'll put that there. Okay. And let's create a new line. Well. Hold everything. Hold everything. I want to group that with this. School Lane? No, not School Lane. This is the Torrington Grand Central. Torrington Grand Central. Right. Yes, are we done? Yeah, right, okay. Where was that line I was working on? Tram. Okay, add station. Should be add stop, really, shouldn't it? Although, do trams use stations? If you live in a city that has trams, are they referred to as stops or stations? Or is it relatively interchangeable? No. Where are you going? And you hang a left. Is that a left? No, that's a right. Well, yeah, it's all very well saying you're going to go that way, but there's no track that way, is there? Strange bit of pathfinding there. Here we go. Almost done. One more. Bang. Okay, so this is going to be the Torrington commuter. No, Torrington Circle. Torrington Circle. Actually, let's make sure that's following our naming conventions. Shuttle, not circle. Right, okay. Okay, grand. Alright, now let's stick something on it. Thank you. Right, okay, buy me a tram. There's only one to choose from. Available from 1965. Okay, well, let's have it. There you go, off you run. There we go, massive. Carries 15. It's going to make me no money for a little while, but that's okay. It's we're playing the long game here. So, okay, so that's Torrington done. Where are we going next? Bromsgrove, I think, is already set up. It is. Where's the tram? Wow, this one really goes a wacky route. And there are some passengers waiting for it, though. There we go. There it is. Whoa, look at all these people. What's your plan, people? Are you all going to go to the station or what? Apparently there's nothing waiting. I don't believe that. I think these people are trapped. That's hilarious. Okay, good. Plenty of traffic waiting there to go to somewhere else. Alright, splendid. Well, you know, as you were. Carry on. Right, so that's Bromsgrove. Bexhill, I think, is running buses. Yeah, definitely running buses. And then out to Ripon. What are you running? You're also running buses, I think. Yep. On the Ripon Circle. Good. Haverhill's definitely running buses, as is Tewkesbury, so I don't even need to go and look at those. And to be honest, those are our most profitable kind of areas. So I think the argument for having in-town transit is a strong one. Right, let's do Billericay, since that's a relatively new addition. We'll get that done. Vehicle 10 has reached its lifetime. In fact, Vehicle 10 is archaic. That's one for the tourists there. I ought to look at my my automated vehicle replacement system and make sure that we're using the right stuff. Let's have a look anywhere else. No. Okay. I'm digging trams, so let's tram this one as well. All right. Hold on. Let's think about the route. Yeah. Okay. Smashing. And this, of course, is all in the interest of generating more rail traffic. I hope that works. I think now normally I'd be inclined to go round here, round the outside, but I think in this case that would be leaving money and passengers on the table. Right. Okay. Where to next? Out across the road here, and yeah, yes, this is all good. Smashing. Okay, good, marvelous. I know it's like back in the early days of these videos, isn't it? Mucking around with town centre planning. Now, do we want to go out and round or straight line it? I think we go out and round. Again, this is one for the future. This is a little bit of hoping that the town expands in such a way. Yeah, we're good. Everybody happy? Smashing. Right, let's get us a. What are you playing at here? Let's get a tram depot on the go. Let's put it there. Bang out some stops. We're going to drive on the right, so okay, fine. No, let's keep it on the same side of the road. Alright, yeah. Which means that we're going to be running anti-clockwise. Remember to link those together. Yes, I will do. There we go, we've got something being built there. Who knows what that is? So let's reward it with a tram stop. And yes, there is no real care and attention being paid to where I'm sticking these stops. If I were to spend more time on them, maybe they'd be more profitable. But it's more about the spacing. There's another ancient bus running. I really do need to have a look at that. I'll do that as soon as we've finished on here, I think. One more. There we go. And since that's a relatively high density area. Right, okay, so next let's get a new line, and this is going to be, where the hell am I? Billericay. Billericay. Shuttle. Okay, magnificent. Right, add a station. Hold on, no, let's merge these two first. Group you with you. Central. The other thing I probably ought to do is run some road over to the other side of the train track. All right, am I going to pause? No, I'm not going to pause. So that I can encourage town growth on the other side of the train. Maybe that's something to think about later. Well, it's not something I'm going to think about now. Right, here we go. Off we trot. Yes, this one, and here. This is actually a pretty decent system. This passenger system. I don't spend any the tram system. The same goes for buses as well. It just works. It's very simple, and it just gets the job done. I haven't missed anywhere, have I? No. Okay, cool. Right, let's buy you a tram. Set you on the Billericay shuttle. Set line. There you go, get to work. And hopefully that will do the job of driving a few more people to use rail. Please use rail. How are our finances looking? With 3 million down in October. What have I spent? Oh, it's possibly because I killed the passengers off. Yeah, so we're 7 million short in terms of revenue. That's the problem, and that will be because I've murdered a couple of sections of passengers, not least of all at Torrington, actually. Okay, fine. That's I can live with that. Right. So where else have I got to do? I've got to do Woking. Let's have a look. Barrow, Slough. Okay, that's fine. 3 more to go. And I'll do those while I'm off screen. Save you having to watch too much tram action going on, and then we can review next time you're here. Thank you very much for watching today. Please do leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It's very much appreciated. Next time around, we're going to be looking at buses and bus routes, and hopefully getting those slightly more profitable, maybe running fewer buses. I know that's a pretty radical thought. Why not tune in then and see how we get on? Thanks very much. I've been Colonel Failure. I'll catch you next time. Cheerio!